So good morning once again, everyone. We are now at our week 11 for business mathematics, and our topic for week 11 is depreciation sinking fund method or annuity method. So for this week, we will define and explain the difference of the depreciation fund method or sinking fund method of depreciation, and also prepare a journal entries to record depreciation under this method. So I will present again a video discussion by Miss April Belaras. So let's watch her video discussion.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our business mathematics class. I'm still your instructor, April Delares. And here are my contact informations. If you have any concerns regarding our subject, feel free to call me or message me. It's either by my messenger, my phone number, or my email. All right? So, still our online class is every Wednesday, 3 to 4 in the afternoon. All right? So, this week, we are going to discuss about depreciation methods. And actually, we already started discussing this one about the average method and uh, the reducing charge method. But this time, we're going to talk about all the depreciation methods, okay, including the one that we did not discuss yet. All right, so let's go. So we said last time that depreciation is the partial reduction of the value of fixed or the one that we said tangible assets, yung mga pwede nating hawakan, like laptops, like cars, okay? So those are the assets that used to carry out business operations resulting out of its limited lifespan, okay? And it is set off against the revenue generated by such consumption each year, okay? And every asset which is a fixed nature tends to face obsolescence, okay, and physical deterioration due to its regular use. So ano ba yung mga assets na yan? So this includes furniture, fixtures, machineries, tools, equipments, and many more. Okay, so yun yung mga tangible na assets na meron tayo, okay, or meron kayo. And in every business or in every business organization needs to find out the depreciation expense for the assets it holds. Okay, so depreciation is an essential element of the financial accounts and is shown on the debit side of the profit and loss as an expense. Okay, syempre halimbawa bumili ka ng machineries, kailangan sulitin mo yon since it's bago siya, sulitin mo para hindi ka malugi kapag nag-depreciate na siya. Okay? And here are some factors affecting depreciation. So we have the cost of asset, estimated net residual value, depreciable cost, and the estimated useful life. Kaya kailangan, halimbawa kung ikaw ay nasa business, kailangan malaman mo, you need to find out kung paano yung depreciation expense that holds your assets. Okay? So what are the factors that affecting depreciation? So we have the cost of asset. Okay, so the cost of asset, this is the cost of acquiring an asset, which includes purchase or purchase cost, installation charges, transit cost, transit insurance, commission, registration, expense, and so on. All right. Another one is the estimated net residual revenue. Value. Okay, so it is the presumed scrap value of the asset at the time of its disposal or disposal or selling off. So this value is estimated after, okay? So estimated after deducting all the related expenses at the time of such disposal. Okay? That's why whenever we talk about depreciation, ano yung mga kino-consider natin? So we consider it harmful to the business, di ba? But however, the fact is that every asset is tangible naman and degrades in value as well as quality with its rigorous use. Okay? So another one is the depreciable cost. Okay, so ito yung cost, the net value of the asset on which the depreciation is to be charged. So, paano siya nako-compute? It is computed after, okay, so after deducting the estimated net residual value from the original cost of the asset. Ayun. And the other one is estimated useful life. So, this is the life of an asset that is the period for which the asset remains in usable condition by the company to carry out business operations. Okay? So, yun yung mga factors that affecting depreciation. Okay? That's why business organizations analyze and prepare for such reduction at the time of purchase of an asset. Okay? Now, we have the different methods of depreciation. So, ano ba yung mga different methods of depreciation? Ayan, so we have the sum of the year's digits method. So, actually, we already discussed this one from our previous week. Also, straight line method. Ayan, double declining balance method. This time, we will discuss the sinking fund method, annuity, unit of production, and written down value method. Okay? So, this method of finding depreciation expense vary from company to company and industry to industry. However, the straight line method, okay, the straight line method and the diminishing, saan na yun? Yeah, and the diminishing balance method are widely used techniques for calculating depreciation. Okay, and further, dito we'll understand these 7 different methods of calculating depreciation. Okay, and later on I will give you some examples for us to understand more that these different methods of depreciation. Right? So we have the first one is the straight line method. So ano ba yung sinasabi ni straight line method? Parang nire-review lang natin to kasi na-discuss na natin to sa week 9. Alright? So under the straight line depreciation method, the amount of reduction remains the same throughout all the accounting years, and it is also called as the fixed installment method. Okay, so si straight line method, we also call this as the fixed installment method. Okay, so how are we going to compute for the straight line method? So we have the formula for us to compute the annual depreciation under the straight line method. Ayan, so annual depreciation is equal to the difference between the acquisition cost and estimated scrap value over the estimated life in years. Okay, so yun. And to determine the rate of reduction, yan yung sa percentage, under the straight line method, we have the rate of depreciation equals to the annual depreciation amount over the acquisition cost times 100. Kasi we are getting the rate of our depreciation. Where acquisition cost includes the expenses incurred on purchase, transportation, and installation of the asset. Okay, so that is what we mean by straight line method. Okay, so para mas maintindihan natin, let's have an example here. All right, so let us suppose that Mr. Lee bought a transportation truck, all right, Ayan, so bumili si Mr. Lee ng transportation truck costing 800,000 pesos. Okay, which has an estimated life of 10 years. 10 years yung estimated life ng truck and the scrap value is 50,000 pesos. Now, find out the annual depreciation expense and also find out the rate of depreciation. Okay? So, first, so paano yung solution natin dito? So, for our solution, we have to find the annual depreciation. Okay? So, paano ulit kukunin yung annual depreciation? So, this is equal to the, ayan, the difference between the acquisition cost and estimated scrap value. Okay, so ayan. Acquisition cost minus the estimated scrap value over the estimated estimated life in years. Okay? Ayan. So, substitute lang natin yung mga values. So, we have yung acquisition cost natin, which is 800,000 minus the scrap value, okay? So, ito yung estimated scrap value ng transportation truck, which is equal to 50,000 pesos over the estimated life in years, which is equal to 10. Ayan. So, yung estimated life ng truck is 10 years. Okay? Kaya, yung annual depreciation natin is equal to 75,000 pesos. So, paano naman yung rate of depreciation? So, yung rate of depreciation is equal to the annual depreciation amount. Okay? Ulit. Annual depreciation amount over the acquisition cost times 100. Okay, so to find out for the rate of depreciation, so sabi natin kanina, rate of depreciation is equal to the, so ano yung ADE? Annual depreciation amount over the acquisition cost times 100. Okay? So, ano ulit yung annual depreciation amount natin? So, ito na siya. That is equal to 75,000 pesos. Okay, over yung acquisition cost natin, which is equal to 800,000 pesos times 100 para makuha natin yung rate of depreciation. So, yung rate of depreciation natin is equal to 9.38%. Okay, so the annual depreciation expense is equal to 75,000 pesos with 9.38% rate of depreciation. Okay, so yan yung straight line method. Okay? Now, what about the diminishing balance method? Or ito yung tinatawag natin na written down value method. Okay, so sa written down value method, so the diminishing balance method is one of the most efficient, okay, or most efficient daw depreciation methods because it is widely used for the assets which are more, okay, and which are more productive in the initial years and becomes less efficient gradually. Okay, so the essential feature of this method is that the depreciation is charged on the book value of the asset and not on its original cost. Okay, so how are we going to calculate for the diminishing balance method? So we have here the formula for us to accumulate or to calculate the annual depreciation through the written down value method. Ayan, so annual depreciation is equal to the book value of the asset times the rate of depreciation over 100. And to find out the depreciation rate under the written down value method, we have the rate of depreciation equals to 1 minus the square root of SC. Okay, N and then SC. Ano ba yan? Ayun yun. Wherein N is the estimated life in years, S is the estimated scrap value, C is the acquisition cost. Okay, yan. Para alam nyo kung ano ba yung mga variables na yan sa formula ni ma'am. Hindi namin alam. O, ayan yung mga meaning nila. Okay, so N is for yung estimated life, kung ilang taon, kung ilang buwan, and then yung S is yung estimated na scrap value. Halimbawa, binili mo yung laptop mo ng 30,000, after 4 years nag-depreciate niya, yung estimated scrap value mo ay 4,000. Wow, sana nasulit mo yon. Ano? And we have the acquisition cost. Yun yung parang original cost ng asset mo. Okay? Para mas maintindihan, we have here an example. Alright, so a soap manufacturing company purchase a machine. Ayan, halimbawa, ikaw yung may-ari ng company. Nag-purchase ka daw ng machine on April 1, okay, for 500,000 pesos. Alright, which has an estimated useful life of 5 years. So yung machine na binili mo, it will last for 5 years lang. If its estimated scrap value is 100,000 pesos, determine the rate of depreciation and annual depreciation for each year using the write down or written down value method. Okay, so we're going to use the formula. Ay, wait. So, ano ulit yung formula natin kanina? So, for our solution, ayan. So, we have the rate of depreciation is equal to, wait lang, ha? 1 minus, ayan, SC, okay, times 100. Alright, so this is equal now to 1 minus 5 yung N natin, yan yung, ano yung N ulit? Yung estimated useful life, okay? Yung estimated life in years nung binili ng soap manufacturing company na machine. So, aabot lang daw ito sa 5 years. So, 5 taon lang siya. Alright? So, yung S natin, the scrap value, so the scrap value is equal to 100,000 over the acquisition cost of 500,000 pesos, okay, times 100, okay. So, tuloy lang natin. This is equal to 1 minus. So, we'll get the value of this one, yung naka-radical sign. Kaya, this is equal to 0.72477966368. So, sulat lang natin lahat ng digits. And then, bago tayo mag-round off, alright? So, the rate of depreciation, RD yan. Rate of depreciation is now equal to 27.5%. Now, let us find out the depreciation value for each year with the help of our simple accounting method. Ano ba yon? Yung gamit natin na formula kanina, like annual depreciation equals to yung book value ng asset, okay? Book value ng asset natin times the rate of rate of depreciation over 100. OMG. Pasensya na sa sulat. Ayan. So, this is equal to, so yung book value natin ay 500,000. Okay? So, yan yung book value ng asset natin. And yung nakuha natin na rate of depreciation is 27.5 over 100. So, this is our year 1. Okay? So, this is equal now to, so sa year 1 niya, yung annual depreciation is 137,500 pesos. Okay? So, yan. So, from 500, naging 137 after 1 year. How about sa year 2? Kukunin natin lahat hanggang aabot sa year 5. Kasi nga, aabot lang daw ng 5 taon yung machine na pinurchase ng manufacturing company ng sabon. Okay? Alright. So, sa year 2, we have the book value. Okay? So, ito yung difference ng book value of the asset tapos yung annual depreciation. Okay, kunin lang natin yung difference. 137,500. So this is equal to 362,500 pesos. Yan. Yan yung book value niya on the second year. For, wala mo na. Wait lang. So what is next is the annual depreciation. So after getting the book value, kunin na natin yung annual depreciation ng machine. Depreciation. So the book value is 362,500 times the rate of depreciation over 100. So this is now equal to, so from 137,000, bumaba na siya ng 99,687 and 5 centavos. So yan yung year 2. Okay? Now we go to year 3. So we have to get first for the book value. So same process lang siya, is by getting the book value is the difference, okay? By getting the difference between the annual depreciation and the book value and the annual depreciation. So this is equal to 362,500 minus 99,687.5. Okay? Kaya yung book value niya ay 262,812 pesos and 5 cents. Okay? And after that, we get the annual depreciation. So what is the annual depreciation? So that is equal to the book value of the asset. So yung nakuha natin is 262,812 pesos and 5 centavos times the rate of depreciation na 27.5 over 100. Kaya the annual depreciation is now equal to 72,273 pesos and 44 centavos. Okay? So, yan yung year 3 niya. How about the year 4? So, abot muna ng 5 taon yung lifespan ng machine. So, on the year 4, yung kaapat na taon na nung machine, malapit na siya ma-expire. So, for the book value, So the book value is now equal to the difference between the annual depreciation na 262,812 and 5 centavos minus yung 72,000. Okay? Yan. So 72,273 and 44 centavos. So this is equal to 190,539 pesos. Okay? And for the annual depreciation, so this is equal to 190,539 times rate of depreciation over 100. Kaya this is equal to 52,398 pesos and 24 centavos. Okay, so wait lang. Magdagdag tayo ng space. Ayan, so yung year 4 na natin. So we are now on the year 5. So ano na yung annual depreciation sa ikalimang taon ng machine? So, sa year 5, we have to get first the book value, which is equal to, ano yung nakuha nating annual depreciation? Yung 190,539 minus 52,398 and 24 centavos. So the book value is equal to 138,140 pesos and 75 centavos. And for the annual depreciation, so this is equal to 138,140 pesos 0.75 or 75 centavos times the rate of depreciation over 100. So this is now equal to 37,988 pesos and 7 centavos. All right, so that is how to compute or calculate for the annual depreciation of our, ano yan ulit? Diminishing balance method or yung written down value method na tinatawag natin. Okay? And we have the unit of production method. Okay, so unit of production method, an asset's life is estimated by the number of units which can be produced by employing it. Okay, so depreciation is determined according to its usage. Okay, instead of a particular period. So, dinedetermine natin yung unit of production method nito, yung depreciation ng assets according to paggamit nito. So, yon. So, paano? How are we going to compute the depreciation expense with the help of the unit of production method? So we have the depreciation expense equals to the number of units produced over the life of assets in units times the difference between asset cost and salvage value. Okay, so para mas maintindihan, let's have an example. Ayan, so ABC Incorporated purchased a machine. Okay, so purchased a machine worth 1,200,000 pesos whose salvage value is 300,000 pesos. Okay, the machine can produce 100 units of a product per hour. Okay, and if the whole useful life of the machine is 40,000 hours, calculate the depreciation for that annual year in which it was used for 4,000 hours. Okay? Ayan. So, nag-purchase yung company ng machine worth 1 million, 1.2. Okay, so we have to calculate for the depreciation expense niya. Ayan. Oh, wait. Sulat natin. Ayan. So how are we going to calculate for the depreciation expense? So depreciation expense, masyadong mahaba. Okay. So we have the number of units produced. So yung napoproduce na units is 100 per hour. Okay, so 100 per hour, which is, wait lang. So this is over the life of asset, okay? Life of asset in units times yung difference ng asset cost. So ano ba yung asset cost natin? And the salvage value. So given na yung salvage value ng machine, which is 300,000. Okay? So substitute lang natin yung mga value. Oh, wait lang. Okay. O later. So, and also for the number of units produced, so how are we going to calculate this one? So number of units produced is equal to the number of hours. Kasi nabanggit doon yung number of hours. Okay? Kung paano nagamit yung machine multiplied by the units produced. Okay? Unit produced per hour. Ayan. So, ano yung number of units produced natin? So, the number of units that is produced, so sinabi natin dito kanina, used for 4,000 hours. So, 4,000 hours times 100. Diba? Sabi natin, nakakapag-produce yung machine ng 100 units. So, paano kung 100 units per hour? Paano kung 4,000? So, multiply lang natin yung 100 sa 4,000 hours. Kaya, this is equal to 400,000 number of units produced. And we have the life of the asset. Okay. So, life of the asset in units, which is equal to the total life in hours times the units produced per hour. Okay, so ano yung total life in hours niya? So nakuha na natin siya, which is equal to 40,000. Ayan, so it mentioned already in the problem wherein if the whole useful life of the machine is 40,000 hours. Okay. So, 40,000 times 100. Okay. Kaya, this is now equal to 4 million. Tama ba? 4 million? Ayan. So, 4 million life of assets in units. So, ano na ngayon yung depreciation expense ng machine? So, we have the depreciation expense equals to number of units produced is equal to 400, okay? So 400,000 over 4 million, okay? Times the difference between the asset cost and salvage value. So ano yung asset cost natin? That is 1.2, di ba? 1,200,000 minus the salvage value na 300,000 pesos. Kaya, yung depreciation expense ng machine is equal to 90,000 pesos. Okay? So, 90,000 pesos. So, from 1.2, naging 90,000. Alright? Within, yun, 4,000 hours. So, that is the depreciation expense. Ayan. So, parang ni-review lang natin yun, ha? Because we already discussed that one last week. So, ito yung hindi natin na-discuss. So, di-discuss natin ngayon about the annuity method. Okay? So, what is about the annuity method? So, annuity method or this method of depreciation is based on the concept of opportunity cost. Okay? So, ano ba yan? So, dito, the depreciation is computed in regards with the interest which the amount used to purchase the asset would have generated if it was invested somewhere else. Ayan. So, paano? Paano natin i-compute yan? How are we going to find out the annuity depreciation? So, here is the formula. Okay, for the annuity depreciation, wherein C is for the acquisition cost, I is the interest rate. So, dapat naka-convert yan sa decimal. And yung N is the estimated life in years. Okay, so in every asset, meron silang estimated life, especially yung mga tangible assets. Okay, yeah. So we have here an example. So ABB Incorporated purchases a machine worth 700,000 pesos, which has an estimated life of 7 years. If this sum were invested somewhere else, it would have earned the firm interest of 10% per annum. Okay, yung PA dyan is per annum or per year. Okay, so calculate the annuity depreciation. Okay, so ayan. So the machine is 700,000. Estimated life for 7 years. Tapos, may interest siya na 10%. So, ano yung annuity depreciation niya? By using the formula that I have shown earlier. Okay, so sulat natin yung formula para ma-substitute natin yung mga given. Okay. So, as for the annuity depreciation, so this is equal to yung C. Ano ulit yung C natin? Yung acquisition cost. Okay? Ang acquisition cost times I or yung interest rate. Okay? So, nabanggit yung interest dun sa problem which is 10%. Okay? Times the quantity of 1 plus I raised to N. Ayan. So, ano yung N natin? Yan yung estimated life in years. So, the estimated life of the machine is 7 years. Okay? So, this is over 1 plus I raised to N minus 1. Okay? So, all we have to do is to substitute the value. So, the acquisition cost is 700,000. Okay, 700,000 times the interest rate, which is 10%. So, convert natin siya sa decimal, 0.10. Alright, times times 1 plus the interest ulit na 0.10 raised to 7. Okay? Kasi 7 yung life o yung estimated life ng machine over 1 plus the interest rate raised to 7 minus 1. Okay? So you just have to calculate the value, yung mga nasa loob muna ng parenthesis. So this is equal to 100, 13,000, 136,410 and 2 centavos over, so yung value nito is equal to 0.9487. Okay? So the value of our annuity or the annuity depreciation is now equal to 143,786 pesos and 44 centavos. Okay? So yan yung annuity method. Madali lang ba? Alright. So we have the sinking fund. Okay. So under the sinking fund method, ayan. So ano ba yung kailangan ng company? So yung company needs to maintain a sinking fund account whenever it purchases a new asset. Okay, so every year, a fixed amount is charged as depreciation. Ayan. So the same fund is withdrawn from the profit to be accumulated in the sinking fund to replace the asset in the future. Okay? Ayan, kaya the firm can even invest this fund just to earn interest. Okay? So just to earn interest until the time of asset replacement. Okay? Lalo na yung mga nasa business sector, di ba? So bago nila ma-replace yung lumang asset nila, so ayan, naka-earn na sila ng interest doon sa bago nilang fund. Kaya kailangan nila ng sinking fund. So paano naman ito i-calculate? How are we going to calculate the sinking fund depreciation? So here is the formula wherein C is the acquisition cost and interest rate, and of course we have the estimated life in years. Okay? So how is that? Para mas maintindihan, let's have an example. Parang masyadong maliit. Ayan. So, RK Incorporated bought a crusher, okay? Crusher worth 780,000 on March 1. And it has an estimated useful life of 12 years. So, napakahaba ng lifespan niya. Yung crusher na binili mo, 12 years. So, the company adopted the sinking fund method and invested it in a fixed deposit scheme for 12 years para maka-earn ng 8% per annum interest. So, per year, 8% yung interest. So, compute the sinking fund. Paano natin siya i-compute yung sinking fund niya? So, for our solution in finding the sinking fund, so nag-adapt yung company ng sinking fund method, okay? And then they invested it in a fixed deposit. So, sino sa inyo yung mahilig mag-invest in a fixed deposit? Tapos ano, wala kang patience maghintay. Withdraw mo agad. O, diba? So, we have the formula, sinking fund, for the sinking fund depreciation. Okay, so ano ulit yung formula natin? The acquisition or cost times the interest rate. Diba? Yung I natin kanina. Yung I is interest rate. Over quantity of 1 plus I raised to n. And yung lifespan ng machine na pinurchase ng company mo. Okay, so substitute lang natin yung mga value. So the acquisition cost of the crusher is 780,000 pesos times the interest rate na 8%, or this is equal to 0.08. Tama? Over 1 plus the interest rate na 0.08 raised to how many years? 12. Okay? Ayan. So, yung estimated useful life ng crusher na binili ng company mo is 12 years. Ayan. Tapos, buwasan natin ang isa. So, the sinking fund depreciation is now equal to, so calculate muna natin yung nasa taas. Kaya, this is equal to 62,400 over 1.518. Okay? So, yung value nito ay ito. And so, the sinking fund depreciation of the crusher is now equal to 41,101 pesos and 30 centavos. Alright? So, that is the sinking fund depreciation. Kaya pwede mong i-adapt ito kung halimbawa may nasa business ka, i-adapt mo lang yung sinking fund method. Okay? Tapos, pwede mo siyang i-invest through a fixed deposit. Depende kung ilang interest sa isang taon. Ayan. And we have the double declining balance method. Okay? So, ano naman yung method na to? Method ng depreciation na ito. So, this is an accelerated form of depreciation wherein the asset is reduced laboriously in the initial years to decrease the burden of tax. Okay? Ayan. And other expenses in the later years. Okay, so, para mabawasan daw yung magbabayad ng tax. So, expected naman yun pag nasa business ka. Magbabayad ka pa rin talaga ng tax. So, how are we going to determine the annual depreciation using this method? Okay, so we are going to use this formula, depreciation for a period equals to 2 times straight line depreciation rate times the initial book value. Okay? Ayan. Kung may tanong kayo dito sa mga variables na ginagamit natin, balikan nyo lang yung past na week natin kasi nabanggit na natin doon kung ano ba yung mga yan. Ano ba yung mga gamit ng mga yan. Okay? Para na rin sa darating na exam. Okay? Para hindi kayo nagtatanong kay Lolo Google. Ayun. So, let's have an example. So, we have here ABC Incorporated bought a machine. Okay? So, magsawa tayo sa machine. Machine worth 600,000 pesos, depreciated at 12% per year, per annum. Okay, so find out the depreciation expense in the first year. Okay, so in the first year using the double declining balance method. All right. So we have for the depreciation, depreciation period. Wait lang. Okay, so we have here the formula for double declining in getting the depreciation for a period. Okay, so double declining, multiply it by 2. The straight, okay, yung straight line depreciation rate times the book value at beginning. Ayan. Pagtsagaan yung sulat ko, medyo maganda. Okay? So, for our year 1, yung depreciation natin is equal to, so this is equal to 2 times, okay, so 12 over 100, yung rate, okay, times the book value. So, ano ba yung book value? 600,000. Tama? Ayan. So, yung machine na worth 600,000 pesos. So, in year 1, the depreciation is equal to 144,000 pesos. Okay? So, So next is year 2. Year 2. So gaano kalaki yung pag-depreciate ng machine? So double declining siya. 2 times 12 over 100 times yung 600,000 minus yung depreciation dun sa year 1, which is 144,000. Okay? So this is equal to, ito yung value nito ay 0.24 times 456,000. So this is now equal to 109,440 pesos. So that is the depreciation of the machine on the year 2. So yung second year. So we have year 3. O, paano naman, gaano naman kalaki yung ibinaba ng machine sa pangatlong taon? So for the depreciation, ayan, so follow lang natin yung proseso. So 2, since double declining tayo, 2 times 2 times 12 over 100 times, okay? So we have now the, ayan, so 456,000 minus 109,440. Okay? So this is now equal to 83,174 pesos and 4 centavos. Okay? So how about sa year 4? So year 4, ayan. So the depreciation is 2 times 12 over 100 times, ayan. So kunin lang natin ng paulit-ulit. Okay? So we have 346,560 minus 83,174.4. Okay? So this is equal to, ay wait, year 4 na tayo, di ba? Oo. So this is now equal to 63,212 pesos and 54 centavos. And so on. So tuloy mo lang hanggang sa, ayan, hanggang ilang taon siya aabot. Okay? Para malaman mo kung gaano yung ibinababa ng o yung depreciation ng machine na pinili mo. Okay? So, ayan. So, that is the result of double declining balance na method ng depreciation. Okay? And we also have the sum of the years digit method. So, this is another form of accelerated depreciation. Okay? So, accelerated siya. So, the sum of the digits method. Alright? So, the depreciation expense is computed as the percentage of the remaining life of the asset to the total of all the years of its estimated life concerning the present book value of the asset. Okay, so how are we going to compute the depreciation expense? Through the sum of the years digits method. Okay, so this is the formula. The depreciation expense is equal to the remaining life over sum of years times the difference between the beginning book value and residual value. Okay, so yung residual value dito is the estimated scrap value. Alright, so for us to understand it well, let's have an example. So we have here an XYZ Incorporated. Halimbawa yan yung company mo. Bought a filtration machine. O, yan na naman si machine. Masyadong sikat si machine. Okay, so bought a filtration machine with 370,000 pesos. Okay, and its scrap value was estimated as 40,000 pesos. If the useful life of the machine was determined for 5 years, figure out the depreciation expense. Okay? So, what is the depreciation expense? So, the depreciation expense, so that is the um, formula that we are going to use to figure out the depreciation expense. Okay, so una is yung year 1, kukunin natin yung depreciation expense ng unang taon ng filtration machine. Okay? So all we have to do is to substitute the value. So the remaining life is 5. Okay? And then the sum of years, so 5 yan. Ayan, so 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. Okay, na-gets? Oh, mahirap yon, no? Hindi, madali lang. And then the beginning book value, which is 370,000. And then yung scrap value or yung residual value niya na 40,000. Alright? So the depreciation expense is equal to, on the first year, 110,000 pesos. Okay? And then, how about sa year 2? Ano naman yung depreciation expense niya? So yung from 370, bumaba na siya ng 110 on the first year. Okay? So on the second year na, syempre, bawasan na natin yung remaining life niya, which is 4. Alright? And then, 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1 naman siya. Ganon. Times yung beginning, okay? 370,000 minus 110,000, okay, minus yung residual na scrap value, 40,000. Okay? So, this is equal to 2/5 times 260,000 minus 40,000. 40,000 lang. Kaya, second year, this is equal to 88,000 pesos. Depreciation expense. Okay? And we have year 3. Year 3, we have the depreciation expense. Ayan. Mali-mali na yung spelling natin. Nag-lunch naman tayo. So, 3. So, yung remaining life niya is 3 over the sum of years. Alright? Yeah, sum of years. 3 plus 2 plus 1. Okay? Times. Yan. So, we have 260,000 minus yung nakuha natin na 88,000 doon sa year 2 minus the scrap value. Okay? So, this is equal to 1/2 times 172,000 and minus 40,000. Ayun. So, this is now equal to, on the third year is 66,000 pesos. Okay? Nasa year 4 na tayo. Year 4, DE na lang natin. Shortcut na natin depreciation expense, DE. So, 2 taon na lang. So, 2 plus 1 times 172. Okay, 172,000 minus yung 66 sa ipakatlong taon minus the scrap value na 40,000. So, this is equal to 2/3 times 106,000 minus the scrap value. Okay, so this is now equal to 44,000 pesos. And we reach the final year, year 5. For the depreciation expense, so the remaining life is 1 over the sum of years, which is 1 times 106,000 minus yung 44,000 na depreciation expense on the 4th year minus the scrap value o yung residual value. So this is now equal to 22,000 pesos. All right. So the organization can opt for one or more methods of depreciation according to its accounting policy, business type, or the strategic approach and the asset type. All right. So those are the different types of depreciation methods. Okay. So parang na-as one na natin ito. So from our week 9, okay, so parang inaswan natin sa week 11. Okay, para mas maintindihan ninyo for your exam on the week 12. Alright? So I hope you understand our discussion about depreciation, but if you have any more questions regarding these methods, so magtanong lang kayo sa messenger or itawag niyo or mag-text sa aking number na na-show doon sa unang slide. Okay? And for your activity for this week, again, for your word problems, all you have to do is to solve each of the following problems by showing your complete solutions. Okay, so ulit-ulit lang tayo, no solutions, pag answers only, 0.
So this is the video discussion made by Ms. April Belaras. It was a wonderful video discussion once again. So for week 11, we had defined and explained the depreciation fund method or sinking fund method or type of depreciation. We had also prepared journal entries for record depreciation under this method as well. So Ms. April also discussed your activities for this week. So before ending this video, I would like to say thank you everyone. And our Bible verse from the book of Mark chapter 9 verse 23 said Jesus, everything is possible for one who believes. So thank you so much everyone.